open slather for the riders. So they've drawn their numbers from the top three going through to the A final later this evening. The remainder into the B final, so it'll be 6 in the A final, 8 in the B final. And again, reminder, they can't go past the Derny. They get up beside them a little bit there, but that's it. They start drifting right past them. The commissaires will pounce and eliminate them from the race. I think Eddie's looking for a bit of encouragement as they head down the back straight once again. At the moment, quite content, the whole lot of them, just to sit in Indian file. They can move about anywhere on the track, as I said, as long as they don't pass that Derny, and he's just slowly but surely picking the pace up. So 6 laps to go for these riders. Top 3 across the line, that's what we're looking for here. Was considered one of the most dangerous races ever on the track for a number of years. They've tightened up the rulings now, but I tell you what, you have still got to have nerves of steel to be out there and amongst it. You don't want to hesitate whatsoever in there. Got to commit yourself at the right sort of a time. There's no recovery time to sit back. So riders will come from all sorts of angles and push the rules to the absolute maximum to get themselves to the front of the race. As they come around once again, we have 4 laps to go. So it's young Beadle of Southland who's on the front at the moment. In the cycling Southland colours, he's got one of the Australians tucked in behind him, Jamie Green, who's back on about his second visit here to the ILT Velodrome. Then you've got the likes of Dawkins in behind him. They continue to pick up the pace. And Sam Webster, number 47. A junior world champion, and this is interesting tactics. Nathan sitting in behind him also in the New Zealand colours. So the 3 men in New Zealand colours lining things on up as they start to go into it. 2 laps to go. Webster starts to make way around the outside, a 3-time world champion. They pick up the pace and Setter now trying to set the pace as they come round to the bell this time. Come on, folks, they go through. You're looking for the top 3. Nathan Seddon, a former champion of the 200 metre. It's Dawkins, though, who takes over the lead. Dawkins and Sam Webster, and it's a battle for third. Dawkins and Webster. Dawkins, Webster, Green of Australia. Williamson of Auckland would be next across the line. But no doubt about it, the 2 New Zealand representatives give themselves the best opportunity to put themselves through to the final later this evening, folks. Eddie Dawkins.
So it's 3 riders to make it through, and those 3 riders will be Eddie Dawkins, Sam Webster and Jamie Green.
So the riders had the final instructions all set to go. They get the angle of the pedals correct for themselves. I can tell you, these are the big oxes on the track for the fast twitch fibres. So those handlers have got their job cut out, getting them into position as the Derny comes through. Heat 2 of the elite men's Kieran here. Same deal. We'll be looking for that top 3, but the odds are slightly more in their favour with just the 5 starters here. And Zach Della, number 54 of Australia, the Queenslander that's on the front at the moment. Van Velthooven, a well-experienced rider in this particular event, sitting in second wheel. Archibald of Southland, third wheel. And riding a pretty pink-coloured number 58, James Verco, based out of Auckland. And at the rear of the fields, young George Scott. He's taken national titles in the sprints as he moves now up into the senior ranks. Of course, some of these young riders, they're up in those under-19s, but often at carnivals and various other events around the countryside. They're in there with their slightly older competitors in the elite divisions. And they certainly know how to mix it up with them, that's for sure. As we come through with 5 laps to go. But Ernie continues to pick up the pace. He's got the wee speedo just sitting out there on the handlebars. That's to keep an eye on, very much just like the computer you would find on your bikes. So you can keep a bit of an eye on that there, and he's got the trigger, the brake going on, just tapping it away, because it likes to pick up its pace a wee bit. As you come out of the bends, you just got to try and control it a bit. Not surge too much for the riders. You notice towards the back of it, of course. There's no roller on the back of it like the standard motorbike that gets used on the track. So the riders just have to be a bit careful and just getting close to that wheel. But these guys are pretty experienced at it. The pace continues here. 2 laps to go. And he's going to disappear off the track here and allow these riders now to go for it. They can go at any point in time. It's still the Aussie, though, who's sitting out in front, Della. Della with Van Velthooven, Archibald. Look at the twitches of their heads as they look around to see who's going to make the move. As they go down into the back straight, we see a bit of movement starting to happen there. And the riders getting a wee bit nervous on it, but it's the Aussies still being left on the front to do all the damage. As they come into it, into the bow this time, Dow gets out of the seat and does the Fred Astaire. He pumps the big gear, and who can respond to it? It's Van Velthooven and Archibald, and they've left the rest in their wake as they come round into the finishing straight. Van Velthooven, Archibald and Dow. They will be the 3 into it. A clear-cut victory as they take themselves through to the A final later this evening. But it is the man who rides on the international stage in Keirin Racing, folks, Simeon Van Velthooven.